There we go. So in science, we always start off with a scientific method, and we always go and start off with tools and what tools are. And then we always look at if it's a science tool or if it's a non-science tool. And then usually when you are in science, when you're younger, you kind of look at if it's a toy versus a tool. So I'm going to show you some tools, and then I'm going to call on you, and if you're going to tell me if you think it's a science tool or if you think that it is a tool that we would use for something else. So I'm going to just kind of fill out this sort here, if it would be a science tool or if it would be an other tool. Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture of something. This, you can see, ask to unmute. Oh, I've got to ask to unmute. Amanda's got it. Thanks, Amanda. Unmute. There we go. Okay. So this right here, let's see. Do you think you're going to give me a thumbs up if you think it's a tool, a science tool, or a thumbs down if you don't think that this is a science tool? So let me see. Thumbs up if it's a science tool, or thumbs down? Perfect. You're right. This is not a science tool. This is like a tool. This is a screw you would use somewhere else. So you're right. Okay, next one. That's a tape measure. Do you think the tape measure would be yes, a tool, or no, it wouldn't be a science tool? What do you think?
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
All right. This is actually a science tool. All right. That's a tape measure. And the reason this is a science tool is because we always do trial and errors. We measure always with data and different things. We have to measure different experiments, maybe the length or the distance of something. So a tape measure is a science tool. And then we have another one. This is a different type of science tool. Sometimes you would use this as people would use this when they're sewing. All right, so if you were sewing or something, you would use this. I could measure my head, I could measure how tall I am, I could measure the length of, if I pushed a car, how far it went. All right, so yes, this is a science tool as well. All right, how about a wrench? Is that a science tool or no? Wrench. What do you think? Brianna, right? Good, good. Yeah, no, a wrench is just a tool that maybe mechanics or somebody would use. All right, how about a magnifying glass? A magnifying glass, science tool or not? Yes, 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 yes. I see your thumbs, I see you. All right, perfect, yes. Here you go. Whoa, right? A magnifying glass. All right, is a science tool. Now these right here are tweezers. Is tweezers a science tool or not? What do you think? Thumbs up, yes, or thumbs down, no? Maybe kind of, some of you. Okay, you know what? They are a science tool, and scientists actually use tweezers to pick up small objects. So tweezers, or they actually can call them also forceps. So you can pick them up and you pick up very small little items. All right, how about a screwdriver? Is that a science tool or not? Nah, scientists really don't use screwdrivers. Good job, everybody. All right. Now, this right here is called a test tube. What do you think? Test tube. Yes, you're right. We would put liquid into that to measure the volume, right? We measure the volume. All right. How about, this is called a triple beam balance. A triple beam balance. Yeah, you're right. So we would put something on here and we would weigh it and we would find the exact measurement. All right, next one is a beaker. A beaker? Yep, you are correct. A beaker. I have a beaker back here. No, I moved it. I didn't want it to break. It's glass. A beaker. All right. Those are glass, and you can put it on a Bunsen burner and boil water into a beaker. Okay, the next one is a microscope. What do you think? Is a microscope? Give me a thumbs up if a microscope is a science tool. Yes, so I have a big microscope sitting back here, and I have prepared slides. So I have prepared slides. I think some of you got to check this out last year with your microscopes. These are prepared slides that you put underneath. So this one is a honeybee wing. All right, I have a dragonfly. I have a leg on here. So you would put that underneath of a microscope and you would be able to zoom in. A microscope helps magnify things. Next one, thermometer. How about it? Thermometer, yes or no? All right, yes, a thermometer. A thermometer is completely a science tool. Here we go. Last one, how about a shovel? How about a shovel? Yes or no? It's not a science tool. Is it a science tool or not a science tool? No. Donna, I see you. Haley, science tool, yeah or no? No. All right, perfect. Shovel is not a science tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with all of you. You have to make sure and let me know if you can see it or not. Miss Eel made a video about science tools. And after we watch the video of science tools, we're going to do an experiment with using science tools. And I know Miss Moore set it up in the back of her classroom, and Miss Carolina will pass it out to you in a little bit of doing those science tools, using one. You're going to use one of your science tools today. So I'm going to share a video that my son and I created a little bit yesterday about science tools. Okay. So let's see if I can get this correct. Can you see this?
Yeah. 14 minutes. Yeah, it's a 14-minute video.
Do you see the video? Give me a thumbs up if you see the video. Great. Are you ready? Science tools. Here we go. Hello, scientists. It's Miss Eel here from Bonita Springs Charter School. I'm so excited to see all of you. I'm here to talk about science tools. What tools scientists use in their experiments around the world. I'm going to take you here for a closer look and show you one of our science tools. This science tool here is a microscope. This microscope is used to magnify objects. And you would just turn the magnifiers to make it become closer, whatever you have underneath of there. Now, these are prepared slides. A prepared slide goes underneath the microscope, and this microscope magnifies the object that is on there. So I would turn this, I would look through my microscope, and I would be able to see the object nice and close up because it magnifies it. Another tool that we have is a magnifying glass. This magnifying glass helps magnify objects as well. It is used to get a closer view on
12:15, honey. It's 12:15. You're good. You're good. I'll tell you. I'll be done with this.
Okay, another
You're good.
science tool
He's fine.
that we use a lot in
12:15.
science are magnets. Magnets have a north and a south pole. Magnets attract each other and repel. If it's a south-south end, it repels. If it's north
south, it attracts each other. Things that are magnetic are iron, cobalt, nickel. Your scissors in your classroom, they are attracted to magnets. Do you think you could name some other things that are attracted to magnets?
Okay, so I want you to just, if you have a, science notebook or a sheet of paper or something, or just around you, I want you to go ahead and say what other items are in your classroom that are attracted to magnets. All right, so think, what other items in your classroom are attracted to magnets? If you look around and you would think. All right. I just want you to write down maybe a couple. I see some of you are good. Brianna, thank you. My friends that are in Miss Moore's class, I want you to turn and talk. So do a turn and talk to your neighbors next to you and just pair up and just kind of say what things, what other items in your classroom are attracted to magnets? What would be attracted to a magnet? So just turn and talk. Just kind of say a few. What would you think? So we know it's nickel, cobalt. What things that are attracted to magnets? All right, Amanda, I'm gonna have you come up here and I'm gonna ask to unmute you. Amanda, can you come up and unmute? Or Miss Carolina. Miss Carolina can come up and unmute. Thank you, Miss Carolina. Thank you. All right, so let's see. Reese, come up and tell me in the camera what's something that's magnetic. Reese.
Not Reese.
Where's is Grant back there? I can't see that fast. Who is it? Okay, good. Tell me something that's magnetic. I can't see very well.
The whiteboard. Yeah. Whiteboard.
Hi. All right.
Oh, too close.
Tell me something. Good. Tell me something that's magnetic. Go ahead and tell me your list.
The door handle.
Yep.
That's all I got.
That's fine. That's perfect. All right. Somebody else. Let's see. Amanda, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
I have the whiteboard. We have like these caddies in there that look magnetic. The trash can, the chair legs, and the table legs.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. Nevaeh, go ahead. Give me one. Something that is magnetic.
A crock pot.
A crock pot. All right. Good. Thank you very much. So now we're going to go ahead and watch the rest of the video. Oops.
Another science tool is tweezers. They're also called forceps. So another name for tweezers is called forceps. Now tweezers pick up small, tiny objects that scientists need to use. And they also don't want to touch with their fingers. The smallest, tiniest objects. Could you think of some objects that tweezers would pick up for science? Another science tool.
So I just want you to think about what other things that tweezers could pick up. And I'm going to say one thing that tweezers could pick up is like a really small grain of rice. And you think about tweezers have to pick up small little particles and objects because tweezers are really used for a lot of science
like materials that you have to pick up, okay?
Is a funnel. Now, I have this container here, and I'm wanting to pour liquid into it, but I don't want to spill this all over the floor. So a good way to make sure that the liquid can go into this container is I would use what is called a funnel. So I'm going to put my funnel over top of my container. Then I'm going to take my liquid and pour it in. Now if I get it too high, I don't want it to overflow at the top. So then the funnel will pour the water in. Will help pour the water into the container.
No. I meant like.
Another science tool is an eyedropper. Another name for an eyedropper could also be a pipette. A pipette is this type. This is an eyedropper. So I can take small amounts of water and suck it up and pull it and then just drop small amounts of water. Now another trick to use and to do with a pipette is how many drops of water do you think would cover a penny? So if everyone had a penny and you put it down and you wanted to cover that penny in water, you could use an eyedropper to see how many drops it would take to cover the penny. And I want you to make an educated guess right now. How many drops do you think it would take to cover the penny?
What do we owe you? You sure? Here, take this quote.
So I
know it's.
want you to go ahead and make an educated guess right now as to, because we are going to do that experiment in a moment. And I'm wanting you to tell me what, we use it an eyedropper, how many drops of water you think would take to cover up a penny. So, Amanda, do you guys have science notebooks or anything? Carolina, can you come on up and unmute? Amanda, do you guys have science notebooks at all? No? Okay, turn and talk to each other and think. If I was trying to cover up a penny with water using an eyedropper, how many drops would it take to cover up a penny? You got to think about the size of a penny. And that's the experiment that we're going to do in a few minutes. All right. So I want you to just turn and talk and think how many. Show me maybe on your hand if you think it was going to be 5, because I can still see you. 5, 6, you think 10. If you think 20, so show me using your fingers. Hold it up on your hand or your fingers. How many drops you think? So I see Amanda thinks that it's going to be 10. Somebody think it's going to be 4. All right. How many drops do you think it would take to cover up that penny with water? All right, so I've got maybe 7. I see an 8. Okay. All right, perfect. So I'm going to play this video the rest of the way, and then that's what we're going to do at the end is see how many drops of water it takes to cover up a penny.
There are so many tools that scientists use to measure everything. Anything from liquid, anything from a solid. So I'm going to show you some tools over here that we would use to measure. This right here is a tape measure. Now I might take this tool and I could measure how tall I am. I could also measure how big my head is. And I could do that with using the side that is inches. Now if I wanted to know a precise amount, I might turn it over and use centimeters, cm for centimeters. So on a tape measure, there are inches and there are centimeters. So that's one type of a tape measure. Another type is at the top and centimeters at the bottom. Could you think of something that might be 12 inches? A ruler is 12 inches. What could be 1 foot and what would be 12 inches? Something that could be 12 inches.
95% of the people that go through 2 of their courses pass.
Right, now I have a volunteer here, and this is Jackson, this is my son. So what we're gonna do is I told him we're going to use the science tool that is a stopwatch. Now a stopwatch is going to record him, and it's going to record how many jumping jacks that Jackson can do in 1 minute. So when I hit start, he's gonna start doing jumping jacks. Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go. And we're counting down to 1 minute. Keep going. Good job. 10 seconds, he's already done. 20 seconds. Wow, he still has 40 more seconds to go. Keep going, bud. How many jumping jacks can you do? This isn't easy. PE and science in a workout together. 40 seconds. All right. Keep going. Almost. Keep going. We're on 50 seconds. Keep going. You're doing so good. When it gets to 60 seconds, that's a minute. Minute. Wow. Good job. Now he's exhausted. But what I wonder is, did you count how many jumping jacks you did? I hope they did on the video. Good luck. Now I have 3 science tools here that are used to measure the volume of a liquid. My first one that I have is a graduated cylinder. Now my graduated cylinder measures the liquid by milliliters. And it starts all the way down at the bottom and it says 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 milliliters. According to this graduated cylinder, what is the number that is on of how much water is in this graduated cylinder? So if you could record how much water is in that graduated cylinder. Another way to measure with milliliters, this gets a little bit, that one's a little bit more precise. This is called a beaker. A beaker is glass. So if I wanted to put this on a Bunsen burner and have the water bubble or boil, I could because this is glass. Now this one, you can look at it closely and tell me how many milliliters is the liquid in the beaker. How many milliliters is the liquid in the beaker? Okay. Another way we measure liquid is usually using a measuring cup.
Steve, you're really loud.
Measuring cup, a lot of you will see when your parents are cooking. All right, and I will tell you this one is a half a cup. This is a half a cup of water that is in the measuring cup. All right, so if you remind yourself again, these 3 objects measure the volume of liquid. Next tool I have here is called a spring scale, a spring balance or Newton's meter. It's a type of mechanical force gauge and it helps weigh objects. So what happens is this helps tell me the measurement of only weight. Okay, so what I would do is I would hook up maybe this water bottle to the spring scale. Whoa, and I want to see the weight of it, how heavy it is. So if you want to know weight and how heavy this is, you would use a spring scale. Okay, the next science tool that we have is a thermometer. Now a thermometer is measured in Celsius or Fahrenheit. And in America, we use the Fahrenheit side. And it starts and goes 0, 40, 20, 0, and it goes up by 20s, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. So if I was going to take this, I could measure the weather outside, but I can also measure the liquid. And so that and say 67 degrees Fahrenheit and see if you know how to record this amount of liquid correctly. Now another type that we measure liquid is called a temperature probe. So this is my probe and I put it into the water. And what would happen is my then temperature probe would get it a little bit more accurate. And this is saying it is 73 degrees Fahrenheit. So even though that one was a little bit different, this is saying it's 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Now if I pick up this and I put it into my hand, you're gonna see that it's gonna start to rise. And what you'll notice is that means I'm putting it into my hand and it's seeing how hot my temperature of my body is. How hot the temperature is of my body. And so right now it's saying I'm 97 degrees. Now we use thermometers to also measure the temperature of our bodies. You get temperature checks at like the doctor's office and different places. And so this is a temperature probe that also measures the temperature of your body. Can you think how else we use a temperature probe? I know we use it for cooking. So what do we use a temperature probe for? Try to think if you could research that and figure it out. All right, Bonita Springs Charter School, thank you so much for joining me in the wonderful world of science. And I hope you got a lot of learning what science tools were. Different types of science tools. And my phone could be a science tool because there's always an app that you could download to measure something. Or you could record and take pictures. So have a great day and thanks for joining in.
All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing on my screen. All right. So you would think about, can you see me? Am I back? Yeah, do you see Miss Eel? Perfect, yay. Okay, so Miss Carolina, I'm gonna go ahead and have you pass out to each student. Each student is going to get.
Hello. 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 Yes.
Hold on.
Hello. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hold on. Whoa, wait, gotta get you back. Gotta minimize that. All right, can you see me? Good. So the first thing that I am going to go ahead and have Miss Carolina pass out is an eyedropper. So everybody's going to get their own eyedropper. The next thing that everybody is going to get is water, okay? And water for your eyedropper. And those of you at home, I'm gonna go ahead and do it for you and then so that you can see it. And then what everybody in class is going to get is a penny. So you're gonna have a penny lay on your desk and you are going to use your eyedropper. And this is where you have to be very precise. Miss Eel's gonna go turn on a light, see if you can see it a little bit better. I want to brighten up my room here so you could see better. So everybody should have an eyedropper, okay? And everybody should have a penny, all right? And you should have water. So once Miss Carolina gets that passed out, we'll go ahead and look into that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and show you, and you're gonna think about, right now, I want you to make an educated guess. So I want you to make an educated guess. So I see Riley, a couple of you. I want you to try to make an educated guess as to how many drops of water you think it will take to cover the penny, but don't let the water fall off the penny. Okay, which is hard. So you think about what a drop of water looks like. That would be 1. 2, you see that? Do not let the water fall off the penny. Now, Carolina, they might need some paper towels for cleaning up here and there if the water happens to come off. Okay? Moving the camera over, that's fine. No worries. And then, so I'm going to go ahead and show you my document camera here. All right. Brianna, do you have a question? Okay, hang on. Go ahead, Brianna. What would you like?
If we have like the supplies at home, can we do it at home too?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have the supplies at home, you are more than welcome to do this at home. You can do it now, you can do it later, you can do it at any time. Absolutely, of course. All right. I just couldn't come and give you the supplies. So if you have them, you can use them. Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Great
get them.
question. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, I'm gonna plug in and show you my document camera so that you guys can see it. All right. Let me get it in here. Okay. And warming up. Let's see. Screen share. With the hands, files. All right, it's fine. So what we did is we found out when we were doing this, and you can try this at home if you'd like, or you can try it again. I see some of you are working on this. And you would have to be very precise with your drops. So you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to refill again. 9, 10. Woo! And that one I spilled over in. You want to know why? Because I was going a lot faster and I was going quicker. So when you're doing this, you're going to have to make sure you are precise. You don't want the water to spill over on your plate off of your penny. Okay? So I could try it again, and I might slow down and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so I'm being very precise. 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so it took 15 that time, and it depends on my drops. All right, and if I did another one, we said 16, it started to spill over. Okay, so now you got to learn how to use one of your tools and how scientists use this tool very precisely to get that little measurement. All right, so if you're all done and you've done everything, Miss Carolina, you can go ahead and collect the cups and put them back on the back table, and you can collect the pennies from them, and you can also collect the eyedroppers from them as well. And so you guys all did a great job using and trying to use an eyedropper, and that is a science tool that you get to use. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get back to me. There we go. So awesome job. Give you guys yourself a hand. I did try to unmute, and were anybody's prediction correct? Was anybody's hypothesis or educated guess correct? Ella, you missed us. I recorded it though. So don't worry. Ella, I missed you. I recorded it, and so you'll get to see what we just did. We just took some science tools and let's switch it over. We just used a science tool of an eyedropper, and we took and saw how many drops it took to cover a penny, and without having it spill over. And so we made some educated guesses, and we also made, we're trying to figure out, anybody's educated guess was correct. Riley, was your guess correct at all? I know you said 10, or somebody did. All right. Anybody's educated guess was correct or close. So Amanda, I'm going to try to unmute. Can you come and help me for a moment? Oh, Brianna, my guess was 18 in the chat box. Wonderful. Oh, and you got 20. Good. So I'm going to ask to unmute Amanda. Did it work? Is it working? That's okay. No, it's not working. No worries. All right, you guys did a great job, and Miss Moore should be coming back into the classroom in a moment. And I want to tell you guys thank you. Thank you for listening and doing a great job. Today we learned about what were science tools, and then what were actually just tools itself. And I can also have Miss Moore send you guys the video. Ella, if you go to, I'm gonna put in the chat box, if you go to YouTube and hit BSCS Science, all right, I have put into YouTube a video that you can watch about science tools, all right? So no worries. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go. Miss Carolina, is Miss Moore in there and coming? I see it's starting to freeze. Ella, yeah, you got a question?
So I think the people can unmute themselves.
Oh,
I
there's
think they
Miss
can-
Moore. She's back.
Yeah. I think they can unmute and mute themselves.
Miss Moore, I was trying to ask a question and they couldn't get them to unmute for some reason. So I asked here. Oh, there.
Okay.
Oh, yay. All right, so I just wanted to ask a few of them if they got their predictions correct, their hypothesis at all.
All right. Hold on.
Hang on.
Boys and girls, have a seat.
So I just wanted to ask them one last question, if any of them got their
If you got your
hypothesis correct.
hypothesis correct.
Brianna said she got 20 and her guess was 18 on drops. Anybody close? I know ours, we ended up with 15 drops. Covered the penny.
Thank you.
And did anybody get 15? So did anybody get 15 at all? Okay, tell me what you did get. Riley, what did you get?
What did you get?
I was close to mine.
What was
I
it?
did 16.
You got 16?
Oh, perfect.
Three?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I was trying to look and
What did you
see.
None.
Brianna, what did you end up getting?
Sarah?
31. Who?
I don't care, anybody. Anybody,
Who?
what did you get?
Sarah got 14. Ben got 9.
What? We were doing our estimates. Yeah, we were doing.
Your estimate?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mine was 48.
I'm confused. Are you doing estimates or are you doing what they actually got?
we had just talked about their estimate, their educated guess, and then what did they actually get? So I just wondered if anybody was close.
What did they actually get? Okay, so Ben You guessed what? He guessed 10 and he got close to 49. That doesn't make sense. 49 drops?
What? 49 drops? Ben, you're crazy.
Austin got 78 drops.
All right, well, some of them might need to do their drops over again and try to work on being
Really?
precise, depending on, I guess, what pipette they used. Because this,
Right.
that's right, this eyedropper, if they used one like this,
Oh.
they're bigger. If the pipette was like this, they would probably be smaller. All right, so I know you had 2 different types in there. So look at that, that makes a difference, using 2 different types of tools, okay? All right, Miss Moore, thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and end this session. Ella, Nevaeh, Brianna, nice seeing all of you. All right,
Goodbye.
bye, bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.